The Secret Service has no choice but to come clean after this entire classified documents debacle with the president, as they admit to a shocking revelation. Make sure to watch until the end for that one. Disgraced FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried had a secret backdoor into investors' funds worth $65 billion. Wow, that's a pretty big number, guys. And were you aware that the entire process of getting Kevin McCarthy the gavel in the House cost taxpayers at least $800,000, with members of Congress making almost $2,000 a day? Don't even get me started. Now, before I continue, please take a second and smash the like button. I really appreciate that. It always helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're looking for your daily dose of the truth when it comes to the US economy, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, the true state of our economy, and what's really going down over in Washington, D.C. that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you own a home, make sure to get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below of this video. Now, for the first time in 60 years, the population in China, good news for their economy, and it may even have implications on the entire world. Their population fell by about 850,000 people last year. This is the biggest decline since 1961. This may give the title of the most populous nation to India, although they haven't actually taken their latest census. Are you guys surprised by this? And did lockdowns have anything to do with this? Now, the next one isn't so surprising. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's relationship is off to a little bit of a bumpy start, shall we say. Who would have thought, right? According to congressional aides and strategists, these two, they don't have much of a personal relationship. It also doesn't help that Schumer has already called out McCarthy and the House GOP for pushing an extreme agenda that says would undercut women's health and cut Medicare and Social Security benefits. But even after this, Schumer would want to have a working relationship with McCarthy. He's going to need it if he wants to be able to pass a debt ceiling hike. McCarthy has a mostly discreet relationship with Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, with both voting opposite each other when it comes to spending bills. McConnell in favor while McCarthy is opposed to them. But honestly, shouldn't they just kind of focus on doing something for the American people instead of fighting amongst themselves? Just my 2 cents here, guys, especially since, different parties are controlling different chambers. At the end of the day, they're supposed to serve the American people, right? Related to that, the American people paid members of Congress who technically weren't even sworn in yet around $813,000 between January 3rd and January 7th. Now, during the 4 days as representative-elect, they made around $1,870 each in salary. Not a bad day, especially even as we saw some of them just playing games on their tablets and taking selfies on their smartphones. Almost all members of Congress make $174,000 annually, with party leaders making $193,400 and the Speaker of the House taking home $223,500. Do you guys think that their salaries are justified? Now, speaking of justifying money, Hunter Biden said that he paid nearly $50,000 a month to his father, President Joe Biden, for staying at the house where his classified documents were discovered. Yeah, some critics were skeptical as to how the younger Biden could afford to shell out that much cash each month, with some saying that this was just a way for him to funnel money to his father. In a campaign video from 2020, it seems as if the classified documents could very well be seen in the garage where then Vice President Biden parked his Corvette. The House Oversight Committee recently sent a letter to the White House to ask if Hunter had access to the documents. According to the letter, quote, "Committee is concerned President Biden stored classified documents at the same location as his son resided while engaging in international business deals with adversaries of the United States." End quote. Now, if the latter part is true, then this should make this next topic all the more worrying. Anthony Guglielmi, the Secret Service spokesman, shocked everyone when he said that, quote, "We don't independently maintain our own visitor logs because it's a private residence," end quote. This is what he said when he was asked about the visitor logs to President Biden's Delaware home. They say that it's a private residence. Hence, we can't even tell who's been in and out of the house that contain these top secret files. The situation seemed a little bit more complicated as the president had even hired Bob Bauer, a former Obama administration top lawyer, to lead the handling of this particular issue. Now, on the topic of leading, were you aware that the FAA, or the Federal Aviation Administration, was without a leader since March? That's when Stephen Dixon, the administrator that Trump nominated, stepped down. President Biden's nominee, Philip Washington, he's had opportunities to have a confirmation hearing, but the problem is that many questioned his experience to be able to handle such a task. The FAA has had multiple issues with nationwide delays in air traffic. Having one leader might actually give them one direction. The question is whether they can actually find the right fit for the job. Now, it's going to take someone with experience for sure, and it's going to help if they can avoid split-second near misses like the one that almost caused a crash at JFK Airport. Around 8:45 p.m., Delta Flight 1943 was preparing for takeoff when American Airlines Flight 106 was crossing onto the runway, heading straight for the Delta airplane, mind you. An air traffic controller was heard screaming expletive and telling Delta 1943 to cancel takeoff. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but again, it's a very scary situation for everyone involved. Now, apart from our rising credit card bills and the price of gas, another scary situation is unfolding as Russia and Belarus commence their joint air combat exercises. Now, while it could be considered a threat to the Ukraine, the Security Council of Belarus has clarified that, quote, the exercise is purely defensive in nature. It will be a set of measures to prepare our and Russian aviation to carry out the relevant combat missions, end quote. In relevant news, the United States will deploy 3,000 troops to Romania, Germany, and Poland. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby said this in a recent news conference. The current situation demands we reinforce the deterrent and defensive posture on NATO's eastern flank. President Joe Biden has been clear that the United States will respond to the growing threat of Europe's security and stability. Our commitment to NATO Article 5 and collective defense remains ironclad, end quote. Doesn't it make sense that Putin continues to say that Russia's actually fighting NATO and the West? What doesn't make sense is how Sam Bankman-Fried duped all of his investors and how even more updates continue to show just how bad things got. According to bankruptcy attorneys, SBF had created a secret $65 billion backdoor into FTX clients' funds, ordering a co-founder to insert it into FTX's code so that he can funnel money from investors right into his hedge fund. So what did he do with the money? Attorneys claim that he bought planes, houses, threw parties, made political donations. Oh, the political donations that have now been forgotten? Yeah, at some point you gotta ask, why isn't this guy in jail yet? And will the donations ever be returned to investors? What do you guys think? Investments are risky. That is, if you don't put in the work and actually research what you're getting yourself into. Although that takes a lot of time. Now, if you want to cut the process out but still want to become an investor, maybe this time around in stocks or real estate, maybe you should consider joining our Patreon community. I've also got experience creating multiple streams of income through side hustles and small businesses, and I can also help you guys out with starting your own first business. So if you're interested in that, feel free to hit the link in the description down below to join our Patreon community. But before I go, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for the video. Also subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I wish you guys great health and better days to come. I will see you on the next one.